Most of us think that when it comes to overconsumption, the only thing we need to do is use willpower and simply shop less. And that is how I used to think in the past as well when I was struggling with impulse buying, but unfortunately it just never ever worked. But luckily I have some amazing hacks you can use to literally reprogram your brain and your need for shopping. And that's exactly what I want to talk about in this video. I have 3 alternative methods you can use that will change your relationship with shopping for forever. But first we have to understand, why do we even buy so many new clothes in the first place? And I have 2 reasons why we do that. And once you understand that, then all of the methods I'm gonna mention, all of the 3 methods, they're gonna make a lot more sense. But pretty much as a society, we've been kind of brainwashed that more is more. We see celebrities and influencers and magazines, and we see so many of them having big walk-in closets, big variety of items. We see big stores with loads of selection and variety. And that is kind of how we started believing, even through movies and series, we kind of started believing that more is more. And our perception of how much clothes we actually need, it's really skewed. And we just don't really know how much we actually need, because all we have, our reference, are the movies and the media. But that's not all. We've also been brainwashed into thinking that repeating our outfits is something to be ashamed of. If we want to belong and be cool and be trendy, of course we have to keep up with trends. We have to buy trendy pieces. We have to shop all of the time. We cannot just repeat outfits. We cannot repeat outfit formulas. We cannot do any of those things in order to be fashionable. So this is the second lie, again, through movies, through series, magazines, social media, all of that we're kind of bought into. So the combination of the 2, once we really start believing that, we're in trouble, because then automatically we're just gonna have this program of, yes, it's normal to buy new clothes all of the time, it's normal to upgrade items all of the time, it's normal to have a big closet, it's normal to just spend a lot of money on all of that. And this is something that it's crucial to understand, because as I've said, this is absolutely false. It's not true at all. And that's what I want to kind of do with this video. I want you not only to know this intellectually, I want to give you the tools so you can really feel it in your body, because maybe logically you already know that, yes, this is kind of excessive, it's too much. But until you integrate it within yourself, your shopping need is not gonna lessen. That's kind of the whole point of this video. And now we can go through the first method. Now, if you watch this channel for a while, you kind of already know about the first method, but still hear me out, because I think I'm going to talk about it a little bit differently today. But one very important method you can use today to really change your relationship with shopping is to start tracking your wardrobe and your daily outfits. And when I tell you this is going to be life-changing for you, I'm not even kidding. And just to quickly cover how I track my wardrobe and what's been working for me, I don't remember the exact date, but 3 or 4 years ago, I started tracking my wardrobe with an Excel spreadsheet that I made myself. It was really simple and it was kind of useful. I learned a lot of different things from the Excel spreadsheet. I loved it for a while, but then a year and a half ago, I saw the Index app on social media. I got really intrigued. I downloaded it and I started tracking my wardrobe with the app on my phone. And this for me changed the game even more, because the app has a lot more statistics and analysis and data that I just couldn't get with the Excel spreadsheet. So now I absolutely recommend the Index app, and I know so many of you already use it and love it as much as I do, which is just a confirmation it's a great app. But for all of you who haven't heard about the app before, or maybe you did and you're just on the fence about it, I have a nice little code you can use with the sign up. So all that you have to do is download the Index app on either iOS or Android, and then when they ask you who inspired you to try it, you can select my name, which is Bedene, and you're gonna get $10 towards their personal styling, which is something they offer within the app, or even the code Bedene works at sign up too. So this is roughly about the app. You have the free version, which is amazing on its own, and then you also have a paid version. And if you want to know more about the app, actually I think a year ago I did an in-depth review that I will link down below so you can check it out. Even though the app changed a little bit and they keep upgrading stuff, I think the review is still amazing, because it's gonna walk you how you can truly get the most out of tracking your wardrobe. But pretty much when it comes to the tracking, it doesn't matter which method you use. Once you start tracking your wardrobe, your mind is going to be blown on how little you actually need. And then all of the outside influences, the media, the people around you, the movies, the series, the social media, the magazines, the shopping ads, they're not gonna have that grip on you anymore. And your need for shopping is gonna be really, really reduced, because now when you're gonna be in the store and you're gonna know, oh, I already have so many items at home, so many of them I haven't even worn once. Once you have that realization and you feel it in your body, it's gonna feel silly to spend the money and buy something new. And also something really fun to mention here, because I do a lot of tracking analysis videos on this channel where I talk about my tracking lessons and what I learned, and I share my statistics and the number, where I go in depth, which I really enjoy. But sometimes I get comments from people and they're kind of like, I'm not sure if the numbers are correct, they seem really low, maybe you made the mistake. And then I explain to them, no, the numbers are absolutely correct, but we've just been brainwashed on how much stuff we actually need. And then they say, oh, I see. And that's the point of the tracking. Once you start tracking your wardrobe, you're gonna now know, not just intellectually, you're gonna feel it in your body how little you actually need, and your shopping is gonna be changed forever without any willpower. And then the last thing that I wanna mention here, even when you start tracking your wardrobe, your needs may change over time. Currently, I just kind of have a routine that I don't dress up on Sundays, because this is kind of, I'm at home, relaxing, chilling, doing nothing. So my wardrobe needs are for 6 days a week. And then also if I'm feeling under the weather, or maybe there are holidays, those are also days that I'm not gonna dress up. So my wardrobe reflects my lifestyle. But if I would start dressing up on Sundays, or maybe I would have more evening events, then maybe I would need more stuff in my wardrobe. So tracking is really accurate and really fun, because it's really personalized and it's really gonna reflect on how much you actually need, not someone else in your life. And now the second life-changing thing you can try to really reduce your need for shopping is to build a seasonal wardrobe, which I'm not sure how you grew up, but I remember when I was younger, I had all of my clothes in my closet all of the time, the entire year. And I lived somewhere with 4 different seasons, so it didn't matter. In the winter when it was really cold, I still had my summer dresses and summer tops in my wardrobe where I could see them, or vice versa. In the summer months when it was really hot, I still had my winter jumpers and coats and all of that. So when I was growing up, we just never switched our wardrobe. Everything was kind of available all of the time. So when I moved out, this is something that I took with me, and I just had one wardrobe for the entire year, and that was it. But because I love fashion, I love dressing up, I love my variety, I realized that having the same wardrobe over and over again, looking at the same wardrobe daily, year after year, it's really boring, and it makes you think that you have to go out and buy new things to really update your wardrobe and make it feel exciting again. But then once I started kind of simplifying my wardrobe, I discovered capsule wardrobes, and for the first time ever, I started building seasonal wardrobes, which means that the only items I would have in my wardrobe were the items that were appropriate for the season that I was in. And when I lived in the UK, I remember I had the spring and summer wardrobe, which was a 6-month capsule wardrobe, and then I also have a fall and winter wardrobe, which again was for 6 months because the weather wasn't fluctuating that much. But then once I moved back home, then is when I started experimenting with 3-month capsule wardrobes. So I do it for the spring, for the summer, for the fall, and for the winter. But pretty much once I started doing that, I didn't even expect this to happen, but once I started building my seasonal capsule wardrobes, what I noticed is that my need for shopping really lowered, because every time I did a switchover, I would get a huge shopping high. And as I've said, my need for shopping would go way down. And the reason why this happens is 2 reasons actually. The first one is because we live our lives and we do things, we're not just gonna remember everything that we own. We're not gonna carry it in our head. So when we have things in storage, maybe we have winter stuff in storage, and then when the winter comes and you want to build your winter wardrobe, you're gonna take those items out and you're gonna see items you completely forgot about, and that's gonna give you a dopamine high. You're gonna feel shopping high with the items that you already bought and that you already own for a really long time. So that's the first thing. When you're gonna do switchovers, you're gonna see loads of items you forgot about, and you're gonna get a little bit of a dopamine. And then the second more important thing is that once you're gonna complete your seasonal wardrobe, your closet is gonna feel new and exciting to you from anywhere to 2 to 3 weeks, which is kind of a long period if you ask me. And I know every time I build a new seasonal wardrobe for 2 to 3 weeks, I'm just so excited every time I open my closet. It feels like there is so much new stuff in there. It feels new, fresh, exciting, and it's just absolutely amazing. So I have to recommend that you try seasonal wardrobes. Now you can do a capsule wardrobe like I do, but it doesn't even have to be a capsule wardrobe. You can just do just a normal seasonal wardrobe. Even if you have loads more items than me, it doesn't really matter. You're still gonna get the same benefit because the beauty lies in the switch over itself. And again, I made a video on this if you want to build your perfect capsule wardrobe, seasonal capsule wardrobe, which I will link down below if you want to watch it next. But any kind of switchover, it's going to be absolutely life-changing. And now before I continue with the next point, I also wanted to remind you that if you're enjoying this video, that you give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out a lot. And also, if you come to this point, leave me a trench coat emoji down below so I can know. I think this one is really fun for a kind of shopping clothes video. I hope it makes sense to you. And then also, because I know so many of you ladies are so smart and I love reading your comments, so I also wanted to ask you that if you have any hacks of your own that you apply to your life that really helped you reprogram how you shop a little bit more mindfully, that you leave me a comment down below, because it's going to be helpful for me and then also for others that are watching. Thank you. Now with the last method, we're gonna apply a little bit of pain to the shopping experience, which may sound really negative, but honestly, it's gonna be a really good thing, because chances are, if you struggle with buying new clothes all of the time, overconsumption, impulse buying, chances are you see shopping as a really positive experience, and it doesn't really have loads of downsides, and that's why you keep engaging in this behavior. But once we start to associate shopping with negative emotions as well, this is gonna be useful, because now we're gonna stop and think twice before buying something new, which is a good thing. So how do we do that? Very simply, all that you have to do, all that you have to do is do a ruthless declutter of your wardrobe. And once you're gonna see how much money you wasted, how much clothes you bought that you never ever wore, that you never appreciated, that never brought any value to you, you're gonna create a reset in your brain and you're gonna see the shopping experience completely differently. So in this situation, again, as I've said, you can do a ruthless declutter. Or if decluttering scares you and you've never done it before, I have an exercise you can do today that it's kind of gonna give you the same results even if you don't declutter anything. So all that you have to do for this to work is to go into your wardrobe and split your closet into 2 piles. The first pile is everything that you would buy again today. And then everything that is left, all of the items you wouldn't buy again today, you're gonna put in a second pile. So this already should give you a very clear visual representation of how much stuff you actually need. But we're not gonna stop here because we wanna keep everything a little bit more accurate. So once you have that second pile in front of you, now you're gonna divide this pile into 2 more sections. The first one is the items that even though you wouldn't buy again today, these are the items that you still wore for a while, you still love them, use them, they're kind of worn out, but pretty much they served you for a while, even if they don't have a purpose in your life anymore. And then the second selection is everything that doesn't fit this criteria. So all of the items that you haven't worn once, all of the items that you bought but maybe you just wore a couple of times, all of the items you don't really like. So all of the items that just didn't bring value to your life, because this is the wasted money, wasted time, wasted energy, wasted everything. I remember when I did the declutter and I had a full walk-in closet. When I did declutters and I saw huge piles of clothes that I just never wore, they never brought me joy and they were just wasted money, that really changed me. And I realized that shopping is not just this innocent fun activity that you go out and you just keep buying new things because you can buy clothes that you never wear and it's just not worth it. So this is what we want to achieve, to create this painful association with shopping. And also I recommend that when you're doing this pile, when you're building this pile of regrets or whatever you want to call it, that you do this with absolutely everything from your clothes, outerwear, bags, shoes, accessories. You can do it with your jewelry, because you want to have this big pile in front of you so you literally shock your brain and that you feel that you're never the same after that experience. You can also, if you want to traumatize yourself even more, you can try to add everything up to roughly estimate how much this pile cost you. So you can go piece by piece, look at the brand, look at what kind of item it is, and you can make a rough guess of how much this would cost. Maybe you have receipts maybe somewhere in your email or something, but you can go through everything and you can make a rough estimation of how much this cost you, and that's gonna again shock you, and you're gonna start associating shopping with just a little bit of pain, which is something that we desperately need. Because yes, shopping can be fun, it can be exciting, but if we're not careful, if we're not mindful, shopping can also be a waste of money, a waste of time, and a waste of energy. And then to top everything up, before you declutter this pile, you want to take a picture of it with your phone so you have a reminder in your photos of how much regret can actually happen when you're shopping. As I said, decluttering can be absolutely life-changing when it comes to changing your relationship with shopping, but this method that I mentioned in this video is not the only one you can use. I actually have another one that I would say it's the easiest way you can declutter your closet, that I will link this video right here. I would highly recommend that you watch it next. But yeah, this is gonna be it for today. I really hope this is helpful, that it's enjoyable. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I will see you next time.